Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to look at the subreddit r/entitledparents, where people tell us their stories of crazy mums and dads who think they're entitled just because they have kids. If you're new around here, please hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video, but for now let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some Reddit stories. Entitled mother wants to let her kid play with a $1,000 toy or else. So, some important context. I lived, until recently, in a small Connecticut town that had a cove with a connector that dumped into the river. The cove itself is quite large, about small lake-sized, with a large gravel parking area, usually used for boat launches. Although, local cops like to park there, do paperwork, eat food, watch the water, and be thankful their small town isn't eventful enough to end up on something like live PD. Because of the large body of still water, I like to come here to run RC boats. The boat I was running this time was my Spartan. This pic of when I took it to a family reunion in Rhode Island is the best I have at the moment. I've done more to it since then. It's 3 feet or 36 inches long, water-cooled electric, and fast. I think total, boat itself, and all the upgrade parts I've put onto it, it's about $1,000 or so. Most of the time, if someone asks me if they can drive it, they're pretty understanding when I say no. But entitled parents aren't most people. By this point, where we start the story, I was standing on the floating deck, setting up a radar machine I'd borrowed from a friend of mine who drives a race car on its little tripod. I was putting the batteries in the boat to get it ready to go. I noticed a local cop had pulled into the parking area off to the side, and was in the process of unwrapping a grinder from the local shop up the street. Sandwich time had come, and from the look he was giving that grinder, it had been sorely missed. I also noticed a woman and her young son walking across the water's edge, and they noticed me setting up, which isn't hard since my boat is bright red. I noticed her trying to walk casual in the general area as I connected to the power and put it in the water, poking the button on the radar machine for max hold while I did a slow figure 8 to make sure everything was functioning. I'd had problems with the rudder servo before, and it would hook a left as soon as you gave it throttle. As I lined up to make a pass in front of the radar machine, they approached me. "Hey, that's a pretty cool toy boat." Me? Not fully paying her attention. I lined up my shot and floored the throttle, screaming past the radar machine, 76 miles per hour. Wow, and so fast too. Still not paying attention, lining up another shot. I floor it past again, keeping it more stable, 82 miles per hour. Are you listening to me? Sorry, I have to concentrate for speedruns to keep it steady. This hull style is fast, but not as stable as you'd think. I pulled it in next to the dock so I could talk to this woman. Entitled mother going straight for the throat apparently. Think my son could try it out? Sorry, no. This is pretty expensive and fast. I point to the radar machine, still showing 82 miles per hour on the display. So? My son won't break it. He's a good boy. Ah snap, here we go again. Lady, your son looks like he's maybe 8, and I have a lot of money into this boat, so sorry, but no. You're just selfish. You let my son drive that toy boat, I'm his mother, and I say it's okay. Yep, that's right, she gave permission for someone else to use my stuff. I look over and lock eyes with the cop, sitting in his car, sandwich crammed halfway in his mouth. I can see it in his eyes. He can see what's going on, but really doesn't want to interrupt sandwich time unless he has to. Entitled mother takes advantage of my distraction to try and grab the transmitter from me. And since she's got me cornered on the edge of a floating dock, I wasn't about to just move away. So I ended up elbowing her in the process of shutting off the transmitter so the boat wouldn't run away, and then wresting it from her. The cop takes notice, sighs, puts down his sandwich, and gets out to approach us. As he walks up, entitled mother is screaming at me about assault and lawsuits and other things I couldn't make out. She was hitting the pitch that caused physical pain. Okay, whoa, calm down, ma'am. What's going on here? This man assaulted me because I asked if my son could play with his toy. The cop sighs, pinches the bridge of his nose, and his face takes on the expression of God darn it. Okay, really? You're really going to try that? Really? You know I was watching you, right? The whole time. And I know you know that's not what really happened. But he... Stop. I don't want to hear it. Look, I'm on my lunch break, and I really don't want to deal with this right now. So let me tell you what's going to happen. But I... Don't interrupt me, please. Here's what's going to happen. You and your son are going to walk away now, and let me get back to my lunch, and this man get back to whatever he's doing. You're going to do it now, or I'll give you a free ride in my car, and I guarantee you won't like how that ends. Are we clear? That's a yes or no question. Are we clear? The entitled mother, visibly defeated. Yes, sir. Good. You're free to go now. Entitled mother sulks away slowly, constantly looking back at me, and the cop gives me a sort of half-hearted apology and goes back to his cruiser to resume sandwich time. I managed to hit 91 miles per hour on a fluke run before my batteries started running low and I had to pack up. And that, my friends, is why you never mess with sandwich time. That time my bride's mum tried to get an exact copy of her wedding dress. So I sold wedding dresses on and off for 5 years. I have a ton of stories. This one is one of the worst though. Yes, it will seem fake because it's so outlandish, but I assure you it's not. This is an old story about 1.5 years ago before I retired. The cast. Me, a spine of steel stylist. B, the bride. MOB, the mother of the bride / entitled mother. And M, the manager. So at this point, I was about 2 months from leaving as I was entering my senior year of college. I have 2 young daughters and really bad family and in-laws. At this point, I have seen it all, but have run into 2 bridezillas in 5 years. It's mostly the mother of the brides that are awful. So, to set the scene, bride had come in a month prior and picked out her dream dress. The mother of the bride was in to pick out her dress. Normal appointments for mothers of bride are an hour. 3 hours later, nothing has worked. I'm really disappointed in lack of options. Nothing is fancy enough for my bride's wedding. Don't you know what you are doing? I'm sorry, Mrs. MOB, but I have shown you everything that your daughter has recommended in every colour that you can get. But it's really my day. I'm the mother of the bride. I need to look the best. Me? Remember I had an end date? No, it's for bride. She's supposed to look the best. You had your time to shine. This isn't about you. Well, aren't you a little witch? I want to speak to your manager. Great, I'll go get her. I fill my manager in on the situation. At this point, the mother of the bride has walked over to the wedding dresses. How can I help you? First, you can start by firing your employee. Then, you can tell me which of these wedding dresses I can order in blue. We don't have any dresses you can order in blue. But you must accommodate me. It's my wedding. I must look the best. It's actually the bride's wedding. Why don't you come back in with your daughter and we can help you find another dress? No, this is my wedding. I want this dress and I want it for free for my inconvenience. That's an $1,800 ball gown. I'm not giving it to you for free. At this point, I have snuck off to call the bride. I'm loyal. I had no qualms about telling her what was going on. The bride was mortified. She wanted her mum to get out, so she races over. Mum, stop! We talked about this. I raised you, I get to wear whatever I want, and they will pay for it. No, you don't. If this keeps up, you won't be invited to the wedding. I have to come back at this point. I realise the mother of the bride is holding an identical copy of her kid's dress. You little witch! Seeing me, how dare you! She throws a ball gown at my dress and comes after me. My manager body checks her. We call the police and the mother of the bride is escorted out with charges. The bride apologises. She comes in after the wedding and says her mum wasn't invited and she now has a restraining order against her. Wow, a restraining order against your own mother. It must have been really bad, like really bad. Entitled mother grabs my 5-month baby to entertain her child in the supermarket. So, well before people call me a bad father, I wasn't away from the car. I was right next to it, but turned around to answer my wife. The cast: entitled mother, me, NK as the nice kid who is 6 to 8 years old, W is wife and M is manager. I was in the supermarket last Saturday with my wife and 5-month-old. We had already seen the nice kid and entitled mother when the nice kid yelled baby. We talked to them for a bit and then went on our way. Our baby was in a carrier in the car and he was sleeping, so we were quickly doing our groceries. It went fine until my wife asked me something. I turned around to answer her. This didn't even take a minute. When I turned around to look at my baby, he was gone, carrier and all. My wife quickly got a manager, and I ran round the store to find someone with a carrier. I heard a baby crying and immediately ran towards it. I saw nice kid sitting on the ground with my baby, trying to play with him, but as he got woken up, he was very cranky. I called my wife and asked nice kid where she got him. Mum gave him to me. She said he needed someone to play with. She can't just take someone's baby without asking. Sorry, am I in trouble? If I can take him, you aren't. Sorry, please take him. I walked to my wife, who had gotten the manager of the store, and he had called the police as soon as he heard. The cop had gotten there as soon as he could. The police station is down the street. The cop saw me holding my baby and asked me if I knew who had him. I told him it was the entitled mother and where I found him. We walked there, and as soon as we walked into the aisle, entitled mother walked up to me. Who do you think you are, taking the baby from my daughter? Ma'am, calm down, or I will handcuff you. I already know the baby is theirs, and that you took him. I want to know why. My daughter was bored, and the baby was just sitting there. He was sleeping, and who gives you the right to take him when I was right next to him? Calm down, sir. The manager walks up with a USB stick with the footage of entitled mother stealing my baby. Do you want to press charges? Entitled mother tries to walk away, but the cop calls her out and handcuffs her. He tells her to call someone to pick up the nice kid. The nice kid gets picked up, and cop, me, and entitled mother go to the police station. I did press charges, but as this happened last Saturday, it is going to take a while. I also cannot show the video as it is evidence and sharing it would make it invalid according to the cop. Edit: we did visit lawyers this morning, and for those who are asking, since we live in the Netherlands and our justice system is a joke, this could be the sentence. If the judge thinks she had malicious intent, she would get 9 years in prison as maximum. If the judge sees no malicious intent, she will get a fine, community service, and has to follow a course in being a parent. That must have been like the scariest thing ever. Imagine just turning around for a minute, you turn back around and your baby's just gone, Like, you would be freaking out so much. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.